All right, so this is the make environment. This is going to be how you create and manage all of your automations going forward. Now, you do that through the use of scenarios, and I'll explain what scenarios are later on in the course. It'll be a module titled Make Fundamentals, and it'll be in a section called What is a Scenario? But for now, we're just going to go over the make environment. It'll be quick and easy, very comprehensive, very easy to understand. So right here in the middle is a giant plus button. You may be seeing a purple plus button because this is your first scenario and you haven't made any changes to it yet. Completely fine. Nothing really that different. You'll still get the same results as me. So you click it and it'll give you a list of different modules to choose from a whole bunch of third-party companies, including a bunch of popular ones like Google or Microsoft, if I can spell Microsoft. If I can spell Microsoft, there we go. So you'll see there are things like Microsoft 365 email, Microsoft 365 Excel, one for the calendar, Power BI, SharePoint, SQL, all that stuff, Word. And I believe there's also one for Team. Oh yeah, here we go, Microsoft Teams as well. Yeah. So there's a whole bunch of different modules that you can choose from, which allow you to make a whole bunch of automations for those apps, which is pretty cool. So from left to right, you can see that there is the run button. You just use this to test out your automations when you're creating them and building them. You click it and it runs the whole automation one time. And below that is the scheduling toggle. And you just use this to schedule your automations when you want them to run once you're done building them. So you can have it set to every 15 minutes and you can get a little bit more complex and make it customizable. So 60 to an hour or 2 hours, or you can even have it set to different times during the day. So, for example, if I wanted to do every day at a specific time, or if I wanted it to start and end and not go on forever, I can add a start and end date to it, which is pretty cool. But for now, we'll leave it at just 15 minutes. So, from left to right for the controls, there is save, which is extremely important. You want to always save your modules, save your scenarios in this course. It is extremely important because if not, something may not work properly. It could ruin your entire automation, and it's just a pain to have to always go through and try and find out what's wrong. And by saving it, sometimes it'll even tell you that there's an error before you save a broken scenario, which is pretty cool. So the save button is going to be your best friend throughout this course. There's also the I don't know why I can't hover over it. There we go. Scenario inputs and scenario settings, as well as notes. The auto align tool, explain flow tool, and right here you can export and import blueprints, but we won't be going over any of that. So there's flow control, tools, and text parser in this tools grouping. These are all just modules created by Make by themselves, and they just allow different techniques and different things for your automations to do. So for example, you can have your automations repeat at certain points without having to set anything for the scheduling, which is pretty cool. You can have that repeat set on conditions. So if this, then that, or if X, then Y. So essentially you can have your automations repeat whenever you want, which is pretty cool. Or you can have a router which lets you let your automations do multiple tasks at one time, which again is awesome. These two we won't go over too much right now because it'll be a little too complicated, but later on in the course we will explain them. It is just different tools with using variables and excuse me, numbers, and this is more so for parsing text. And then in the bottom right is the discover button. Use this whenever you need help or support from the make group. And that right there is the make environment.